Hi, everybody. Welcome to Artist Expose, A Vision to Remember. I am your host, Dada, and today's guest, we have Emily Pearl. Hi, Emily Pearl.
Hello.
And how was your Christmas? Christmas was yesterday. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays to be inclusive, but it's been good. Everything is fine. I cooked. I chilled with my mom, staying inside.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. Everyone stay home now. Don't go outside for now.
Yes, please. We're trying to help everyone.
Oh, yes. Yes, because so many families have been lost and it's been very heartbreaking, so everyone it needs to heal.
Yeah.
So I just wish everyone the best that's hanging on there with this COVID-19 situation going on and make 2021 better. So we have these wonderful questions we would like to ask you. It's called Random Questions. So Emily Pearl, what inspired you to do art?
Um, I think the source of inspiration for me, it's my hometown, which is El Paso, Texas. Uh, it's a Chicano town. It's like Mexican American. It's a border town next to Mexico, especially Juarez, Chihuahua. So my source of inspiration came from the art that was mostly in street art and mural art. And the 1970s, we had the Chicano movement. So El Paso had over 100 murals of that movement of where Mexican Americans demanded their rights as a U.S. citizen. So seeing all that artwork representing the culture, the people, especially the people, it inspired me, and I was like, this is something I want to do. I want to represent the people. And I enjoy realism. I enjoy people watching. So painting people became a source of inspiration to me.
That's a very, very wonderful response, especially it's connected to your culture, which is very beautiful. And their culture is so colorful. You can't miss that.
Yeah.
So
Look at my hair.
exactly. So Emily Pearl, out of all of your works, which one was your favorite?
The one you see behind me, this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite one because I decided to do something very hyper realistic, for the first time ever. And the model of that photo, she was a friend. She's still a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine. We worked in high school together in the fashion club, and we make dresses, we went to competitions, but I got to know her as a person. At first, the type of person that I am, I never thought I could be friends with her until I got to spend time with her. So when I spent time with her and I talked to her, she told me her story that she is an immigrant, that she's in the United States just for her studies. And I remember when we were traveling back and forth to different states, she was always paranoid because she didn't have a passport. All she had was a ID, and she was scared that maybe in this administration that we're in right now, she would get deported any minute now. So all her family's back in Mexico. She would visit them once in a while. So she's just here alone with some relatives, pursuing her career, pursuing her education for her family. So I just thought that having her with the Mexican flag covering her face, it's a perfect representation that we are Mexican and we shouldn't be scared of who we are, especially in this climate right now. We should be proud of who we are, because even though she is from Mexico, even though she is an immigrant, she's still an American. She grew up here. She knows what being an American is, working hard to striving to what you want to be, to building a career, to building a family. So that's what I created the painting for, and I think it's my best work and my favorite work.
Yeah, that's awesome because, not only that piece will teach a lot of people about culture itself, especially about people born in America and have a heritage of Mexico. So, that's two best of both worlds. She knows two cultures. And, a lot of people need to realize and understand the meaning of heritage itself and the meaning of culture. So, Emily Pearl, if you would work with a famous celebrity or local artist, who would it be?
Um, as in local here, I don't think in Miami, because I live in Miami right now. Here there hasn't been any like local artists that caught my eye, but back in Texas for sure, I would want to work with El Cine or Blast. Like those are like local like street artists that they had work like in Mexico and like in California, that they do super beautiful like realistic murals. So like I watched them work and like getting to know them back in El Paso and them like helping me have my own like art galleries and everything. Like I want to be like to collaborate with them and even be like their little like apprentice or something. I really want to learn more from them.
That'd be awesome, and we can't wait to see your work in a great, great gallery in Mexico. So, what's the worst job you ever had?
Worst job, as in like art related or like just
Job you ever had in your life?
there's a reason why people complain about food service, and it's because of that. I was a waitress in Olive Garden, and I think that was like the worst job that I had because I I didn't like the stuck up people that were working there. I just didn't feel safe in that environment. I would work like 8 hours, 10 hours, and only receive one break, and that's about it. Like the managers weren't that good, and like especially where I worked, it was on the rich side of town of El Paso, so it just wasn't that good. But
And it's crazy because Olive Garden has some great food.
no, it's amazing. The food is amazing, but like every time I pass by it, I'm like, curse you, Olive Garden, curse
Yeah,
you.
that a lot of food industries, certain companies, they don't appreciate their employees as much, so that causes issues.
Exactly, and it's hard to see, especially like the cooks and like the people who work in the back being mostly immigrants. That like I would get along with them the most. I would like talk to them. I would get to know them more, and like they would just treat them bad, and some of them they
You
would even
know,
threaten
that's
them.
the
And
ironic part. They love what they do, and the food is still good.
yeah,
Emily Pearl, what's your favorite color?
even though my favorite color is right now purple, my all-time favorite color is yellow. Yellow because I have an admiration for that color. Like I had listed out like a reasons. One of them is that when I grew up in the middle of the desert in a trailer when I was like a baby with my mom and my dad, I remember one of the things that would grow in the desert would be sunflowers. So I really love sunflowers and the yellow color from it. And then eventually it just like attached to me that like yellow is my happy color. Yellow does make me feel inspired. Mostly a lot of my artworks contain yellow and like a very bright yellow. And like getting to read about artists and like reading about their history and all that, like Van Gogh's one of them, that he would like paint excessive amounts of yellow because he was on like antidepressants or like the medication that they would give him back then in the asylum. So I just that's the connection that I have with that color. And like I had painted a portrait of myself with the sunflower in my face. So it's just a little connection there.
It's interesting you said that because yellow blends with a lot of colors.
Yes.
A lot of colors to create colors. I have a self-portrait here.
Yes.
So I have a painting here. It has yellow. So I understand yellow is everything. And not only that, it's a very popular color, but not a lot of people they'll realize it later. They
Yeah.
see it now.
Yeah. Yellow is such a happy color. Like
Yes.
it really does. And like even though like scientists have said that like yellow is actually like associated with anxiety and all that. Like it still brings like happiness to people. Like a lot of the flowers like have yellow hues in it, and it's just beautiful.
That's really true. If you were stuck with three art styles or pieces, which ones would you pick?
Art styles or pieces, like of my own collection, or
Like any three art styles, or like if pop art or
oh, okay. Then I would definitely pick realism. Realism is one of them. Surrealism. I think that's like a lot of people say that my art does have some surrealism elements to it. So I'm like, okay, realism, surrealism, and maybe like graphic art, like kind of like Shepherd Fairies art. I really like that. Like, I think those three
that
arts.
sounds very interesting. You know what you should do? You should create a piece with all three of those.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Please one day, please just give us that. We would love to see that. So another question: Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Why
Sure.
Batman?
Because Batman is a little bit more realistic. I'm down to earth. I'm a down to earth person. So Batman, like, I've always loved their comics, their artwork, and like the storylines. Like, it's very realistic at points, and the way that they like created the Dark Knight is it's an amazing story. Like how he gets to deal with trauma and like how he has this moral that he will never kill, but with everything that's surrounded by him, he does kill people unintentionally and indirectly. So it's just like the storyline, the characters, the villains, everything of Batman is awesome.
Okay, so if you had a superpower, what would it be?
My superpower, I think it would be like I think it was like the thing to like read people's minds. I think that's like one of the things that like I would love to know, because I could see people that they wear this personality of fake it till you make it. They think that they're all that, but like I could see deep down in them that I'm like, you're not exactly who you are. You're putting this facade, and I would just like to know who you really are, especially here in Miami. I've seen too many people that they put up a facade, and I'm like, you need to be more authentic. You need to be more yourself. Like a lot of the things that like people like is authenticity. So I think that would be like a good thing to have. It could be a blessing and a curse.
Definitely. So Emily Pearl, can you tell the audience where they can find you to purchase your work or collaborate with you?
Where you can find my work, I mostly put my work on Instagram. It's gonna be Emily Rose, Emily.Rose without the I in Emily. And then where you could find me on Facebook is gonna be Emily Pearl Art. And then where you could find my email on my Instagram or my Facebook page, and you could message me directly or through email.
All right, you guys, I would like to thank Emily Pearl for coming on our show.
Thank you very much.
Like, share, and subscribe. After the show, you will see all of her beautiful, beautiful work. And you will see all of her information in the bottom description. Okay, you guys, we love you. RSA Expose loves you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.